Hello, thank you for watching this YouTube video today. Today we will be going over the spell Fireball and how to make it more effective. Fireball has the keywords of fire, projectile, spell, and area effect. So pretty much anything that increases fire damage, projectile damage, or spell damage, or area effect damage will increase Fireball's chance of doing damage. The other part of Fireball is its quality, gives percent ignite chance. The percent, I'm not really sure without just looking it up real quick, so we'll just do that. The percent of it is 1.5, so you can get it up to a 30% chance of igniting with a 20% gem, which is pretty good. So just with it by itself, this is how it looks like. It just launches a ball of fire. Pretty basic by itself. When the fire hits the wall, see that kind of area effect around that fire? That's how you can tell where it's going to hit. So just give you guys ideas of how to make that work. This place is kind of awkward as far as casting a spell. And yeah, you can see that it ignites pretty easy too. The other spell things you can work with it, you can use Fork. Fork would make it so it basically just fires more and more of those fireballs. I'm going to actually go to the lower level zone just to give you an idea since it's only a level 1 ability. So yeah, with Fireball, when you use it, does decent damage. It gets a lot of damage if you level it. Mine's only level 1, so don't really pay too much attention as far as the damage goes. But you can use like faster castings with it. Faster casting would let you cast more and more of those fireballs. The Fork, as you can see, takes and splits the fireballs into 2, and then like if there's any monsters inside of that area, it kind of shotguns. And that's really what's really nice about Fireball. It's a ability that shotguns very well. So if you use like greater multiple projectile, it'd give it a bunch more that you can like hit one enemy. See, every one of those fireballs right now are hitting the same enemy. So GMP is actually pretty good with it. I mean, until you can actually get the effectiveness out of it, I'd probably wait on GMP until later in the game and just stick with lesser multiple projectile. Lesser multiple projectile is pretty effective, and it can still shotgun effectively. And you could also use Fork with it too if you wanted to get a big shotgun. It would be a good area effect ability at that point. You could use increased area effect. All it would do though is the area where it explodes. That's the area that's the only part that gets affected by the ability, and I mean which is good. It's good, but I would not recommend really increased area effects. You could do concentrated effects, but that also decreases the area of where that explodes, so it's harder to shotgun with concentrated effects. So I don't know if I would really recommend concentrated effects, and that would only increase the area effects damage. So I don't know if I'd recommend that. But faster casting is really good. Lesser multiple projectiles is pretty good. You could always use faster projectiles to basically just get the projectile to go further, but it's another gem it's probably not as effective. It's probably not something that I would use often, but it's something that you could try. If you can get a lot of crit chance, crit damage would be very useful. Crit damage with a fireball can do tons of damage. It'll do a lot of damage. Increased burning duration, or not burning, increased burning damage would be good too with this. Increased burning damage because Fireball's chance to ignite is very high, so getting that burning damage is really good. And you could use Pro Lift with that as well. and when you proliff a fireball hit, it would spread that burn between the monster that's hitting and the monsters that are next to it, so you can get a very effective burn off. So elemental proliff could be really good if you were. I'd probably think about elemental proliff if you were gonna just focus on using like one fireball and making that one fireball crit and do a lot of damage, and then proliffing that burn to everything around it and focusing on that burn damage. It'd be good versus like reflect mobs, because you wouldn't have to worry so much about your area effect as much, because the burn damage doesn't reflect back at you. So elemental proliferation's really good with it. You could always do Empower if you have the links open. I feel like it's something, you know, all spells gain a decent bonus from Empower, but leveling that Empower and getting a higher level Empower can be kind of hard. The other item that would be really good with a Fireball build eventually would be getting, let's see if I can pull it up for you, this staff, Searing Touch. This staff, you can get this, you know, just even 4-linked is really good. It's kind of an expensive staff, so it's something you're going to have to work towards eventually. And I mean, it depends on the person. Some people it's going to be cheap for, but like for somebody who's newer to the game, it's going to be a little expensive for you. But it increases your spell damage by a lot, increases your fire damage by a lot, and increases your burning damage by a lot, and it gives you cast speed. And it also gives your gems inside of that area +2 to fire gems, and that's every gem that's a fire gem. So Chance to Ignite, that's another good support. I don't have one on me, but Chance to Ignite basically makes it so it would stack with the Ignite chance that's already on it, so you could get up to like, you know, a 50 to 60% chance to Ignite just with Fireball, and which is actually really good. If you want to focus less on a crit build and more on just a Fireball that just does decent damage without the crit, you could also focus on doing it that way too. So it's something to keep in mind. Otherwise, as far as passive skills go, you always kind of want to stick to a certain way. So if you're going to go with crit, you want to go with crit damage and crit, and that's how you're going to focus on it mainly. If you're going to try to do raw damage and stuff like that, then you want to focus more on the raw damage. Otherwise, you want to get cast speed. Cast speed is always going to be good for something like this. It might not be as important for this spec because burning damage, the way it works, the most powerful burn is the one that's going to be always active. So the cast speed's not really going to affect burning as much. So maybe worrying about cast speed probably won't be a huge issue, but burning damage is going to be the biggest thing. No matter what build you go, you're going to need you want to go Holy Fire and get this ring. If you want to focus on the burning damage even more, you could even get Entropy. Entropy would increase the damage over time of Fireball over the Ignite damage, and also getting like Growth and Decay would be good too. But I mean, it depends on where you are in the tree. Don't come all the way down here just because of this. Make sure you're coming down here for other things too. Another thing too is elemental damage. All works on Fireball. So elemental would be really good. Spell damage works with Fireball. Area effect would make the area of the Fireball's blast radius bigger. It'd be easier to shotgun basically. Shotgun more than one mob. So fire damage is good too, I said that. And then if you want to focus more on a crit build, you could get crit chance. Crit chance is always good. Crit damage, crit chance, and then power charges is always going to be helpful. And otherwise, that's, and I try to focus on either one or the other. But I mean, that's up to you. There's things you can test out, see what works best for you in the end. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But thank you for watching this YouTube video, and if you like this video, there'll be more videos like it coming out, and I appreciate all the followers and everything. Thank you.